Hey guys, we are back with another Edmonton Oilers marathon of a video. We are doing the full year number 9 in this one. That's right, we're getting towards the end of the GM mode. We're getting towards the end of NHL 19, so we're doing full years now in videos. So the Stanley Cup champions are the Vancouver Canucks, and the Calder Cup goes to the Hartford Wolfpack. And something that I've been neglecting as of late is the awards, so I definitely want to check that out in this video to start out. And once we get to the retirements, of course, and the draft lottery, Nashville wins and Arizona and Ottawa get second and third respectively. Retirements, this is what I'm interested to see because we do have a couple of old guys on our roster. So Gino retires, Kopitar, Marchand, Wheeler, Eberle, Letang, Perron, Hoffman, Atkinson, Stepan, Shattenkirk, Frolik, Henrique, Tatar, Smith, Backlund, Eller, Dadonov, McDonough, Wilson, Killorn, Vatanen, Shaw, Cizikas, and as we go to goaltenders, Bishop, Leonard, Neuwirth, Dell, Koskinen, Kemper, all retiring. So we're here at the draft, and as promised, let's check out the awards before anything else, so we don't forget yet again. So the Stanley Cup champions, obviously the Vancouver Canucks. The President's Trophy goes to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl, obviously Vancouver, and it was Vancouver versus Pittsburgh in the Stanley Cup final. And the player awards, Art Ross goes to Dylan Larkin, Hart goes to Pettersson, of course, and the Norris goes to Klingberg. The Lady Byng goes to Pettersson. Calder goes to Pete Kane on the Penguins, the Kane with a C. I forget his first name, but he was just drafted this past season. I believe he was like an 84 overall out of the draft, so that definitely makes sense there. Conn Smythe, Thatcher Demko figures. Vezina goes to Gibson. Jennings goes to Gibson. Masterton goes to Nick Hogg of the Avalanche. Selke goes to Pettersson. Lindsay goes to Pettersson. And Maurice Richard goes to Brock Besser. I can't remember if we took a look at the playoff stats in the last one or not. We might have. Draisaitl with 10 points. Puljujärvi with 10. We'll just go through it really quick here. McDavid with 8. Meyer with 6. Merkley with 5. Bjorkstrand, Klefbom, and Marner with 4. Nuge with 3. Barry also with 3. Anderson with 2. Borgstrom with 2. Comiskey with 2. Larson with 2. Wilson with 2, Wisniewski with 2, and then Tierney and Byron with 1. Santini didn't play. Suglobov played 1 game with nothing. And goaltenders, Weston Barron. Weston Barron worked his tuchus off as a 22-year-old rookie goaltender in the NHL. 13 games played. He kept up a .954 save percentage in the best hockey league in the world, in the playoffs nonetheless. And he still couldn't get past round number 2 because his team couldn't score for him at opportune moments. So we're not a perfect team at this point. And we only have 2 years left to do it. So Weston Barron for sure, we know, is our starting goaltender going into next season. He's at 87 overall now, I would imagine. And he'll honestly probably grow another couple of overall points at least, just from natural growth. And then he might get like another couple of overall points from performance bonuses from what he's done here, not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs as well. He might end up being a 90 overall going into next season. Very well, he could be. So, very excited for that. But what is not exciting is that we have quite a decision to make going into, actually a few decisions to make going into next season, is because our defensive core is a mix of young and older guys. Older guys obviously being Barry, Klefbom, Larson, and then the younger guys being Byram, Comiskey, and Merkley. And as we take a look at our defense, Byram, Comiskey, Merkley, they're obviously going nowhere. But the thing is, Tyson Barrie, Oscar Klefbom, and Adam Larson have all dropped down to that exact top 6 potential. Now, Barrie is actually starting to drop already. He's at an 86. I don't think Larson and Klefbom have dropped just yet, but they might soon. Now, Tyson Barrie's contract isn't actually up until next year, but this year we have Klefbom and Larson expiring, both on $5 million deals. And Larson doesn't even want to re-sign, so we really have to consider our options here going into the re-sign stage, whether we want to re-sign Klefbom. I mean, we know for a fact that they're going to be on the top 6 regardless, because that's been their role anyway for the past 2 years or so. But just the fact that they have that top 6 potential now means that they're going to keep dropping, and are they worth keeping is the question. I think maybe Larson would be, but the thing is, Larson is the one that doesn't want to re-sign. So I think regardless, we might end up releasing them both to free agency. I might want to go back after Larson because he is a solid defensive defenseman, but I'm not sure how Clefbaum fits on that top 6. I mean, he's obviously been solid, but his point production has definitely dipped ever since we started playing him on the top 6, which is understandable. And obviously his age as well might play a factor. So we really have to consider our options going into the offseason this year. That is my point. And maybe if Barrie drops enough, we may even have to consider trading him. I would prefer not to, because he is still an outstanding production guy for us. He had 50 points last season, but he's already dropped down to that 86. So we have to keep an eye on Tyson Barrie. And obviously Byron Comiskey and Merkley aren't going anywhere. So if Barrie does drop down another couple of overall points, we may have to consider trading him, especially if that drop happens before the start of the season, because it's only going to keep going down from there. And Clefbaum and, once again, Larson and Clefbaum haven't dropped at all yet, but they will soon. They definitely will soon. So we have to really consider our options going into this offseason. So we're going into the draft here, and my goal for this draft is to try to acquire a top 6 defensive forward. And the reason for that, I like our top 6 as it is, but the thing is that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is dropping in potential as well. He is now at that exact top 9. All of our older guys are starting to drop in potential, and obviously Nuge had 66 points, so I would love to keep him on board for another year, if possible, but he may not be cut out for the first line by the start of next year. That's all I'm saying. We might have to relegate him to the third line, and obviously I think that second line is going to stay intact with Meyer, Puljujarvi, and Draisaitl, or maybe we move one of them up if we can't find someone here to potentially replace Nuge on the first line. But I'm not having Nuge dropping by the start of year number 9, and then we don't have a backup plan for him. So we have to seriously look around for some forwards to potentially play on the left wing of McDavid. And not only that, but I've been looking for a defensive forward to play on the top 6 anyway, because I feel like that's kind of what we're missing during the playoffs. You know, our top 6 is all basically run and gun offense. I mean, obviously, Puljujarvi and McDavid are great defensively, but they're not dedicated defensive forwards. I'm looking for a defensive two-way forward, or maybe even a grinder or a power forward or something like that, who can just grind down the other team. Sort of like a Wolfsburg Wolves team build almost, except with a little bit more offense, obviously, with McDavid in there and Puljujarvi. Okay, so one guy to keep an eye on, and I know I said defense, but here's the thing, is that Ovi is solid defensively in the simulation. He's 40 years of age, but he's still a 91 overall. And we need someone else who takes shots other than Connor McDavid. Because Connor McDavid leads our team in shots consistently throughout the year. And at times, he leads by over 100 shots. And Ovi, say what you want about his defense in real life, but his defense in the simulation is fantastic. 75 takeaways to 42 giveaways last season and 141 hits still at the age of 40. So I think maybe if there's no other options, then we could definitely explore potentially trading for Ovechkin. But I do want to see how his value drops going into next season. So if Ovi is still on the Capitals going into next season, I want to see how much his value has dropped. So I'm not going to trade for him yet. And I also, for that matter, want to see what's available in free agency. But keep in mind, this 2 years is technically only 1 year, since that the year hasn't technically rolled over yet. So this is a 1-year deal for Ovi. And if it doesn't work out, no big deal. We can release him. And, you know, I feel like if we can't get anything out of free agency, Ovi might be the way to go. Because we do need someone else who takes shots. as much as we need, honestly, someone who plays defense, and Ovi does it well. So there's no one here who I really want to trade for at the moment other than Ovi, who, once again, if we trade for him, it's likely going to be at the start of next season when we know his actual trade value. So we're going to sim to user pick number 13. We have a couple guys pinned here. We have Murray Lawrence, who looks pretty solid. Johan Hedin. There is Rene Lamoureux. I think the best bet here would either be Murray Lawrence or, to be honest, Lamoureux. I think I'll take the more NHL ready guy in Murray Lawrence, just in case, because we have a lot of our defensemen getting older at this point. We do have a couple of defensive prospects that are almost ready, but it's never a bad thing to have more defensive prospects. So Lawrence is a 73 overall, not too shabby. He's, I'd say, a couple of years away from the NHL. That's a longer time than we have here left in Edmonton, but he'll still be a solid prospect. And Stuart Volpatti, I think I might want to take next. Got that A- for shooting. He is the most NHL-ready prospect of all these guys here, so I think, unless there's some medium elite who is going soon, then I think we'll take him. Yeah, we'll just take Volpatti here. Welcome to the Edmonton Oilers, Stuart Volpatti. Another goaltender. And figures another goaltender. So we may as well just take the most NHL ready one. And there's another goaltender right here who is a potential high elite. We don't exactly need a goaltender. We'll take this guy anyway, Tiran. He is the closest to being NHL ready. Welcome to the Edmonton Oilers. 55 overall is Tiran. And as we simulate to the third round, we'll just keep taking the best player available here, I guess, in terms of their potential. And it looks like it might be this guy, Bodens. Yeah, not really much left that I'm interested in terms of players that are going soon. So we'll just take Amrit Bodens. Welcome to the Edmonton Oilers, and you are a 60 overall, and you might be a high elite. So yet another goaltender in the Edmonton Oilers pool of goaltenders that we have now. That is a pretty extensive list. As we take a look at our full list of goaltenders here, it is, yeah, quite a bit. Connolly, Barron, Frazee, Bodens, Faulkner, Camilleri, Tiran, Woods, all guys with a tremendous amount of value, and then Crawford, Sekera. Yeah, we have... It is just an insane amount of goaltenders. Next, we'll take Lawrence Cizek, because he's got a B for shooting, B for physicality, so I figured why not at this point. We'll take the medium top 6 center, Jay Darling. Now we'll take the medium top 4 offensive defenseman, Seth Bishop. And now we'll take the gem low elite, Parker Robinson. And in the 7th round now, last pick, let's take either Ekman or Puka. Yeah, I like Puka slightly better. He's got the better senses there. So welcome to the Edmonton Oilers, Tommy Puka. And that'll do it. Welcome to the Edmonton Oilers, Lawrence, Volpatti, Tiran, Budens, Cizek, Darling, Bishop, Robinson, and Puka. So we may as well start with the UFA goaltenders since we have a lot here. Connolly, we're definitely going to sign you as that medium franchise goaltender. Do we really need Crawford? He might be a solid backup goaltender for the AHL. So you know what? Yeah, we'll sign him. We'll sign him. And of course, we have to also re-sign Weston Barron. He is our number one priority. He's only looking for $5 million for 3 years. And I think that is the right idea for him, but we'll give him 2 years, so it could be a bridge deal going past year number 10, and then the next GM can decide what to do with him. And he'll also still be on an RFA deal, so that the next GM will be able to retain him. Let's give him 4.8 for 2 years. That'd be a steal for Weston Barron. Now, defensemen, Santini, Larson, and Clefbaum, and then RFA's Malik. What does Malik want? He wants a 2-way deal. I'll wait on him just to see what kind of defensive depth we're looking at in the AHL. We don't need Santini. We can release him. Larson, he doesn't want to sign. What kind of contract does he want? He wants 5.3 for 4 years. What if I take it down to 1 year? He still wants around the same. I'm going to have to release Larson. I don't think that he'll be an 84 going to next season. And I don't think someone who's an 82 overall, I would say, is worth that kind of money, especially since he's just going to keep dropping. And he may even be below an 80 by the end of this season. So we're just going to release him. And as for Clefbaum, What kind of money does he want? At least he wants to sign. And we would have had to give Larson like an additional $1 million just to get him on board. Yeah, it's not worth it. So Klefbom, if we take him down to 1 year, he stays around the same for asking price. But unfortunately, if we take him down to 1 year, that means we're not going to be able to use the 15% rule because we're not giving him the amount of years that he wants. So we're not going to be able to take him down to 5 mil, I wouldn't say. We have to go more than likely at least 5.4 for Klefbom. And I don't know if that's the smart move here. We might be just better off sending Klefbom to free agency, see what's out there, because obviously we've lost in the second round 2 years in a row now, or not even 2 years in a row. We haven't even gotten past the second round yet in this entire GM mode, and we're going into year number 9. So yeah, I think it makes sense to release both Larson and Klefbom, sort of explore our options a little bit. Plus, both of them have gone from our first defensive pair to our third defensive pair. So maybe it's time for a fresh start for both of them. Let's just get them out of here. So forwards, we have a bunch of prospects down here. Of course, we have Nitty Mackey. We'll just sign all these guys. Now, here's a guy who I am very interested in going into next season. That's Dalton Wild. He's currently a 78 overall. We drafted him, I believe, last year. Yeah, in the first round, 26th overall. He is almost NHL ready. So let's see if he makes the jump this year. And he should be pretty interesting to follow over the next couple of years. Now, Nikita Wisniewski. He hasn't really grown at all. And he doesn't want to re-sign. He hasn't exactly been impressive. I think it's time to move on from him. Just give him a new, fresh start. Because he has been a pretty good point scorer. He's been a 30 to 35 point guy for his entire NHL career, basically. Besides his rookie season, which he got 24 points. But it's still not the development path that I expected for Wisniewski. And I think we could do better. So, and especially in a year where, once again, we're looking to finally make it past the second round and hopefully to the Stanley Cup. So I think it's definitely time for a little bit more of a change here than we had expected. So we're getting Wisniewski out of here. And Borgstrom and Tierney want to re-sign. Wilson does not. Anderson does not. I would love to bring Anderson back. He has been nothing but phenomenal for us. Basically every single season he's been with us. I mean, of course, last year was a down year point-wise for him, but he was still a key penalty killer for us. He, of course, his takeaway to giveaway ratio wasn't great last year, but neither was really anybody's other than McDavid and Puljujarvi. It seemed anyway, so we're going to get... I would think we'll get Anderson a new contract, especially with the amount of cap space that we currently have. We have $32 million, but that'll probably go down pretty fast. So I want to hold off on the guys who are saying no for right now. And now Nuge. Nuge is going to be interesting because he's still an 85 overall, but he's got that top 9 now. And I'm worried that he might drop down to maybe an 83. He's asking for 4 years. If we give him 1 year, he wants 5.5. Nuge would be worth re-signing, though, because he did have a 66-point season last season. That is the highest since year number 1 that he's had. So he's clearly, in terms of point scoring, it's still there. It's just that his age might be catching up to him a little bit with that potential dropping. So we really have to be careful with Nuge. I'll give him a 1 year deal, to be honest, for pretty much what he wants. Yeah, we'll try 5.4 for 1 year for Nuge, because he's been a key part of this team for a long time. And I'm not quite ready to give up on him. And we might need Nuge as well, especially if someone like Anderson doesn't end up walking. Then I would like to get Nuge back, but we do definitely have to keep an eye on him. Wild accepts, Nuge accepts, Connolly accepts, Barron accepts, Odell accepts, Crawford, Popov, Day, Nitty Mackey, Kreutzer, Waters, and that's it. So let's get back into the contract screen, see who is left. For UFAs, we have Anderson, Wilson, Tierney, and Borgstrom. RFAs, we have Malik. So I'll worry about Malik later. We're going to approach our NHLers first. So we do have, at the moment, more than enough cap space to sign all 4 of these guys. So Borgstrom, what is he wanting? He wants 1.7 for 3 years. What if I take him down to 1 year? Yeah, I would say Borgstrom's worth that. What kind of attributes or stats did he have last year? He had 25 points on the season. Face-off percentage of 53.8. That's key. 92 hits. Of course, his takeaway to giveaway ratio wasn't great, but once again, no one's was last year besides the guys who you expect it to be good on, such as McDavid and Puljujärvi. So I think we'll re-sign Borgstrom. He was pretty solid other than, once again, the defensive ratios. But I think he is capable of a bounce-back season, so we'll get him on a one-year deal for 1.6. Tierney, what does he want? He wants 3 years for 3.1. If I take him down to 1 year, he wants 3.075. What did he do last season? He had a good takeaway to giveaway ratio. He had 109 hits. And what did he do point-wise? 21 points. Yeah, it's decent. That's decent for sure. What does Wilson want? 3 mil for 2 years? I would rather give Wilson 1 year, to be honest, because he hasn't exactly been living up to the point totals that he put up in Washington, with us at least, but he has been solid defensively, so I would like to get Wilson back if possible. But if we pay him here, we're going to have to offer him like 4 mil, so I would honestly rather just release him to free agency and then approach him there and give him 3.3, presuming that's what he's going to want. And as for Elias Anderson, what does Anderson want? Okay, he wants 5 years for 5 mil. Which means we're going to have to give him at least 6 mil if we want him to rejoin our team. I don't think he's worth that much. He was solid for us in the past, but he did have a down year last year. Again, I want to see what's in free agency, so we're going to release Anderson for right now, but I would like to go back after Anderson if he is worth it, because he's definitely, at the right price, he's definitely worth it. So if we could get Tierney back for 1 year at 2.9, I think that'd be a good contract for him. Now, Malik, what is our defensive depth in the AHL looking like? So we have Suter. Well, Suter might actually end up jumping up to the NHL, to be honest, depending on the type of growth we see from him. What about Plekhanov? I would say 1 more year for Plekhanov, but again, it's going to depend on the growth that we see over the offseason jump. And he is a low elite, so we might see him jump up potentially to an 80. So I'm going to leave those guys unsigned for right now. So as far as everyone else goes, though, in the AHL, you have Malik, Lawrence. Is he Canadian? No, he's not. He's all right. He's European. So yeah, he should end up being in the AHL this year. Then Kochi, Curry, Czak, Bishop. Yeah, I think Malik will end up playing in our AHL squad, so we will give him a deal. So currently on defense, we have Byram Comiskey, Barry, Merkley, and then it drops immediately down to Suter, McPherson, and Plekhanov. So I would say we want at least 1 defenseman out of free agency. And forward-wise, we have McDavid, Puljujärvi. This is, how many guys? That's 8, 9, 10, 11 is Wilds. Balser's 12. Okay, so once again, I do want to go back after Anderson at the right price. And potentially Wilson as well. But we do, once again, need to consider our options here because we are a championship team, at least according to the game, and we are definitely looking for a championship. Borgstrom accepted, Tierney accepted, Malik accepted, and that should be about it. And we should be good to make our way towards the start of free agency. Just going to do a once-over, make sure we have everybody signed, and yes, we do. So let's get to July 1st. So I think I just found a better trade than the Ovechkin trade. Filip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators. He is currently 31 years of age on a 4-year deal, and it makes sense why the Nashville Predators would want to give him up, because first of all, they've been playing him on the second line as of when we last scouted him. And then second of all, they are in complete rebuild mode. They have PK Subban as their best defenseman, who is 37 years of age. And then after that, Ellis, 35. And then they have nobody after that. In terms of goal, they have Grubauer. And then that's basically it. They don't even have any prospects. He played 69 games last year for them. Only 22 wins. They're in clear rebuilding mode here. I'm not going to take Tolvanen, but I will be taking Filip Forsberg. And in return, we'll be giving them one of our elite defensive prospects in Sim and one of our plethora of goaltender prospects in Ferkner. And Ferkner is a 78 overall, so that is giving them a goaltender for, I would imagine, maybe even next season, depending on the type of growth that he has. He may end up being an 80 or an 81 overall. He could slot into the NHL roster right away. Sim, only 20 years of age, 75 overall. defensive defenseman. And the thing I don't like about Sim is, as a defensive defenseman, he has a 78 defensive awareness. So, I mean, he has better puck skills category than he does defensive category. So I don't really trust that. So we're going to send Sim and Ferkner to the Nashville Predators for Filip Forsberg. And of course, since we're sending them so much value, and once again, we can really honestly afford to give them this much value, because when you take a look at the goals, I mean, you guys have seen it plenty of times already this episode. So what we're going to be doing here, obviously, since we're getting so much value to the Nashville Predators, and I'm not even asking for any picks in return, all I'm asking is that they retain some of his salary. I want them to retain, let's say, $2 million, honestly. Because Filip Forsberg, he has had some down seasons with the Nashville Predators. He's been on the second line. He's been on a rebuilding team. So it makes sense why that they would want to trade him, especially for assets that are of such value that Sim and Ferkner are. And as we take another look at Forsberg, at his defensive stats, I mean, he's just fantastic. Even on a bad team, he had a great defensive ratio last year, 61-38, with 142 hits. So that's why we are getting Filip Forsberg. He'll fit in perfectly on the first line, I believe, with 97 and with Mitch Marner or Puljujärvi, whoever we decide to put there. But I would imagine it'll be Marner, since we have two takeaway artists in McDavid and Forsberg once we make this trade go through, which we'll do right now. I doubt anybody will think Nashville came on the short end of the stick here. I cannot talk today. So it is a done deal. So thanks for doing that trade with us, Nashville. And I hope you enjoy yourselves, your new elite goalie prospect and your new elite defensive prospect in Sim. So now that leaves us at $17.4 million to work with. Still a lot of cap space remaining. And I still want to go back after Wilson and Anderson, even though we now have Forsberg. Now, one issue that I am concerned about a little bit is Mitch Marner's contract actually expires next year. So we do have that to keep in mind. But I'm going to see if he wants to re-sign right now, just so that we know what we're working with going into year number 10. And he does want to re-sign. He's making 6.5 currently. What does he want on the extension? 7 years, $8 million. That's not bad. What if we take him down to, let's say, 5 years sounds good for him at, around 8.1. That sounds like a good deal for him. We'll see if we can take him down to that 8 million even offer contract, and we'll see what he says. And if he extends, then we should be good to go. Now, there also are the contracts of Tyson Barrie and Timo Meier expiring. Does Meier want the same amount of money? Yeah, roughly. What about Barrie? Barrie wants roughly the same amount. So we'll see what happens over the course of the season. But should everything go to plan, I don't think we'll have to worry about the contract of Mitch Marner getting in the way of anything. And Nuge will probably want less next year should we re-sign him. And if he drops too much, then we can just cut him entirely from the roster, and then we're saving $5.4 million. And we can also cut guys like Tierney, guys who are making a little bit of money who we don't necessarily need. So I'm not concerned about our cap situation here. I think we're in a pretty good position. I mean, obviously we have to re-sign Comiskey and a couple of other guys, I believe, as well, but I think we'll be fine. So diving into free agency now, Tom Wilson only wants 3.25. We can definitely give him that. I'll give him 1 year. Well, actually, he wants up to 3.8 now. So, yeah, I guess 2 years would be ideal then. We'll take him to 3.5 for 2 years. And Anderson. Anderson wants 5 years at $5 million. If I take him down to 2 years, he wants 5.25. All right, that's not bad. I think I'll go 2 years for Anderson at 5.6. He's honestly worth it because he's had some incredible seasons for us. Last year was obviously a down year, but he was also, keep in mind, pretty clutch in the playoffs. He obviously didn't score too many points, but those were two very clutch goals that he got. So I'll take Anderson down to 2 years for, again, 5.6 sounds about right for him. Now, I'm going to take a gamble and say that Suter is going to be playing this year, and he's a right-handed defenseman, so we need a left-handed defenseman to help him out, a solid defensive defenseman to play on the left side, and I believe that would be Saul Bochenski. He's 25 years of age, 84 overall defensive defenseman, and his ratios aren't great, but he is very much a physical player, I believe, and he's also been forced to play in top 2 and top 4 roles. He will be on the top 6 for us. So maybe in a lesser role, he'll have less turnovers, and he'll benefit Jalen Suter a lot. He is asking for a lot of money now. I don't want to go too long with Bochenski, just because, again, our potential cap situation that could happen, and again, I'm not too worried about it, but I do want to play it safe here. So I'll give him 2 years, the same that we're giving basically everybody else, and we'll take him up to 6.4. We should have enough money for all those players, so we're going to sim ahead and see what we got. Anderson is back on the team. Wilson is back on the team, and Bochenski is on the team as well. So now that should be, and Mitch Marner is extended. So that should be everything that we have to do for this offseason. I'm liking our outlook for this season. So as we take a look at our defensive core now, we have Byram, Comiskey, Barry, Merkley, Bochenski, and then Suter. I'm going to bank on Suter playing this year because he is a 79 overall. The offseason jump hasn't happened yet. I'm going to say he jumps to at least an 80, and we'll see how he plays. Forwards, you got McDavid, Puljujärvi, Draisaitl, Forsberg, Marner, Meyer, Nuge, Anderson, Wilson, Suglobov, Tierney, Bjorkstrand, Borkstrom, and potentially Wild. Potentially Dalton Wild. We'll see about him. And then in goal, you have Barron and Frazee. We're set there. And in the system, we have our franchise goaltender, Connolly, and then Crawford as well. So, yeah, we're set. And we also, I might add, have an additional $4.4 million in cap space to work with. We are set to start year number 9. Actually, I take that back. We do need to get some insurance on defense just in case that our rookie defenseman Suter is not ready. So we may as well just go back after Steven Santini here. We'll give him 1 year at 1.95. A veteran in goal can't hurt either. We'll just get Ullmark here. He was pretty solid last year. .915 save percentage in 25 games for whichever team he was playing for. So we'll just get him at 1 year for $2 million. And there's Ullmark. And there's Santini. Let's get to the start of year number 9. So we're here in the preseason of year number 9. Let's take a look at the growth for the start of this season. And obviously, for Suter, we're going to have to take a look at the contracts because we don't have him signed yet. And Suter is at an 80 overall. Yes, indeed. So we will be playing Jalen Suter in the NHL this year. Welcome to the show, kid. So in goal, we have Weston Barron, 87 overall. So he didn't grow quite like we thought he would, but he's still a pretty big part of this team, as we saw in the last playoffs. And Dalton Frazee grew to an 83, so he will definitely be the backup. And we'll get Ullmark up here as some insurance, and so that Connolly can get a lot of time down there. And defensively, Comiskey, Byram, Barry, Merkley, Bochenski, Santini, and Jalen Suter. We're going to have to send somebody down, as I would imagine. There are too many forwards. Yep, indeed. Wild is a 79, but we will be sending him down to the AHL. And not Balsers, we will be calling up Jalen Suter. So now we have 7 defensemen, including Suter in there now. And forwards, we should have 13. McDavid, Puljujärvi, Draisaitl, Marner, Forsberg, Meyer, Nuge is at an 84, so he didn't drop too much. That's good. Anderson, 83. Wilson, 83. Suglobov, 82. Tierney, 82. Bjorkstrand, 82. Borgstrom, 81. So we had quite the productive offseason. We acquired Bochenski in free agency. We got Anderson and Wilson back. We extended Marner. And of course, we got Filip Forsberg in a trade with the Nashville Predators. So let me just arrange the lines the way that I see them. So here are our lines going into year number 9. Filip Forsberg, Connor McDavid, and Mitch Marner on the first line. Second line, same as last year, Meyer, Draisaitl, and Puljujärvi. Third line is going to be Nuge, Anderson, and Bjorkstrand. And the fourth line, Tierney, Borgstrom, and Wilson. Defensively, Byram and Barry, Comiskey and Merkley, Bochenski, and Suter are the 2 new inserts into this lineup. We'll see how they do this year. Power play, Forsberg, McDavid, Marner, Nuge, and Barry. And then on the second line is Meyer, Draisaitl, and Puljujärvi with Comiskey and Merkley. Penalty kill will be Draisaitl, Puljujärvi, Byram, and Barry. And then Anderson with Forsberg, Bochenski, and Comiskey. Since Anderson is not on the power play, we're leaving him on the penalty kill. And keep in mind, last year, he was not on the power play either. So that would explain the dip in points that he had. He had 57 the year before, and 20 of them were on the power play. So that's roughly a 20-point drop between being on the power play and then not being on the power play. So that makes sense for him. So that, at least it explains his drop in points that he had last season. And 4-on-4, McDavid, Marner, Byram, and Barrie. Then Draisaitl, Puljujarvi, Comiskey, and Merkley. Nuge, Forsberg, Bochenski, and Suter. And 3-on-3, McDavid, Marner, and Barrie. Draisaitl, Puljujarvi, and Merkley. And then Nuge, Forsberg, and Comiskey. Extra attackers are McDavid and Draisaitl. Shootout is McDavid, Marner, Puljujarvi, Draisaitl, and Forsberg. And in goal, of course, have Barron and Frazee. And scratched our Ullmark, Suglobov, and Santini. Before we start the new season, let's check out any new numbers. We have Suglobov, who is 45. He was with us last year, but I don't think we ever really saw him play, so he's 45. Forsberg is number 10. Bjorkstrand is 67, and again, I don't believe we ever reviewed the numbers last season. That's why we are saying them now. And defensively, Suter is 19. Bochenski is 57. Frazee is 33. Ullmark is 35. And of course, Weston Barron, number 1. So as we head into the regular season, thought I'd explain it's going to be the same sort of deal as it was last episode. We're going through the entire regular season in this episode, so there are going to be as few stoppages in the simulation as possible, and we'll only jump in to check the stats basically at the halfway point and at the end of the regular season and whenever we're really struggling. Henrik Borgstrom injured with a wrist sprain until November 11th. That's about a week and a half from now, I think, so we'll edit the lines manually. Suglobov, get in there. Stu Comiskey injured with a sore knee until December 23rd. You hate to see it. So Bochenski taking his place alongside Merkley until he comes back, and Santini is, of course, in. Wow. We're on January 1st, and we are 31-6-3. Yes, you heard and saw right. 31-6-3. In October, we went 12-1-0. In November, we went 9-3-2. And just this past December, we went 10-2-1. So we are kind of the best team in the league right now. 65 points. We are 15 points ahead of the wild card halfway through the season. There's really no problems here, but we'll check the team stats anyway just to see where we are at. Goals for per game is at a 3.22. Goals against per game is at a 2.15. My goodness. This team is impressive so far. Power play 21.4. Penalty kill 87.5. Everything is clicking. And we are, of course, 7-2-1 in our last 10. Home, we are 14-4-2. Away, we are 17-2-1. This is an amazing team so far. And I'm not going to jinx anything. I'm not going to say anything about the playoffs, but this is looking like, again, one of the best teams we have built in a long time. Connor McDavid with 43 points, Forsberg with 33, Marner with 33, Puljujarvi with 30, Draisaitl with 27, Meier with 25, Merkley with 23, Nuge with 22, Bjorkstrand with 21, Anderson with 18, Tierney with 16, Barrie with 16, Wilson with 12, Comiskey with 12, Borgstrom with 11, Byram with 8, Suter with 5, Suglobov with 3 in 5 games, Bochenski with 3, Santini with nothing in 4 games. How are we doing in the face-off circle? McDavid is a 60.3%, Draisaitl is a 52.4%, Anderson is a 50.9%, and Borgstrom is unfortunately at a 45%, but I'm not going to change a thing. Forsberg leads the way with 82 hits. Block-wise, Barrie and Byram are tied for first with 61 blocks each, and Anderson leads fours with 15. Now, takeaways to giveaways, 72-18 for McDavid, and 3 fights, wow. And Puljujarvi with a 49-22. Anderson could be a bit better, but he's, again, I can't complain about anything right now, given our current record. Tierney is doing phenomenal, 23-12. Nuge 20-15, Forsberg 20-19, 20-12 for Wilson, 16-20 for Bjorkstrand, 15-24 for Meier, 14-39 for Barrie, 14-29 for Merkley, 13-20 for Marner, 11-18 for Draisaitl, 10-25 for Suter, 10-42 for Bochenski, 10-32 for Comiskey, 8 to 50 for Bowen Byram. That's a bit brutal, but again, can't complain much about anything right now. 6 to 12 for Borgstrom, 3 to 2 for Suglobov, 1 to 4 for Santini. And fights other than McDavid's 3, Bochenski had 4, and 1 for Barrie, and 1 for Nuge. Goaltenders, we have Weston Barron with that .930 save percentage. He continues to build on last year's incredible playoff performance that he had. And he wins games. 31 wins in 39 games played. He has only lost 8 games total. And that's including in overtime and the shootout. 6 shutouts and an .892, unfortunately, for Dalton Frazee in 4 games. Weston Barron has carried the majority of the workload here. And actually, is automated goalie rotations on? And they are. All right. So I guess just the game is recognizing that Frazee isn't winning games and that Barron is, and it just keeps putting Barron in there. And yeah, there's, as you can see, really no reason to change a thing. So we'll just, as long as we don't have any major injuries, we'll just honestly skip ahead to the end of the regular season. We don't even really need to stop at the deadline, I don't feel, as long as we can at least stay consistent. With a 2-1 win-loss ratio, we should be good for at least 50 wins. Because we're already at 31 on January 1st. I'm excited to see what this team can do in the second half of the season. Saul Bochenski injured with an injured shoulder until February 8th. That's about a week away. And he's on the top 6, I believe, so we'll just assistant coach replace player. That will put Santini in. They're the same type of player. And now, unfortunately, Stu Comiskey has also been injured. Roughly a couple of days later, until February 16th. So now we're going to have to definitely go into edit lines manually, because that would throw, I believe, Suglobov in there, and I definitely do not want that. So we're now forced to get Malik in there, the 77 overall Wojtek Malik. So this should be interesting. Santini's up on the second pair now with Merkley. Luckily, the injuries aren't for too long, so we shouldn't have to go too long with, at least with Malik in the lineup, and hopefully not for too long either with Santini in there. Oh my goodness, injuries up the wazoo. Defensive injuries up the wazoo right now. Ryan Merkley injured with a pulled groin just a few days after, Bochenski got injured until March 1st with a pulled groin. My goodness. We are now down 3 NHL defensemen. And that means Suter moves up to the second pairing with Santini. My goodness, this is not good. So Bochenski is actually back, but he is still kind of injured. But it's a risk we're going to have to take because we are just losing way too many defensemen right now. So we're going to get Bochenski in there with Santini and just see what happens because, yeah. And there it is. He is now fully healed and available to play. And Stu Comiskey is finally back, so we'll get him into the lineup for sure. We'll take out Malik. So we're at the trade deadline, and we are sitting with 92 points, first in our division, first in our conference, and first in the NHL. So there's really not much to worry about here. We're not going to be making any moves at the trade deadline. We're not even going to be checking out the stats here. Just thought I'd update you guys on the current state of the team. In January, we went 6-6, so a little bit of a rough month, unfortunately. February was a bit of a bumpy road as well, 7-4-1, but still obviously not enough to derail our current season the way it is. 44-16-4. At this point, we're just waiting for Merkley to come back, which will be in a few days on that game against Buffalo. So there's not much to worry about. And we'll just continue to the end of the season. And Merkley is finally back, so our defensive pairs are back to the way they were, and I'm probably going to have to edit the lines a little bit here. Yeah, the lines got all jumbled up in all those injuries, so give me 1 second here. So here we are at the end of the regular season, and we have finished 53-21-8, 114 points. We did indeed win the President's Trophy. A bit rough of second half of the regular season compared to what we had in the first half of the season anyway. Post-trade deadline, we went 9-5-4, so if you equal out the overtime, shootout, and regulation losses, we went technically 9-9, which is a bit unfortunate, but we still, nonetheless, are definitely the best team in the NHL at the moment. So as we check out the team stats, the player stats, we will, after that, find out who we have in the playoffs. So our scoring definitely dried up as the season went on. We are now down to 2.98, and our defense became a little bit more porous as well, 2.52, unfortunately. Power play, Even though we are above 20%, we are actually in the bottom half of our division with a 20.1. And then the penalty kill is actually at the top of the division with an 84.9. So not too bad. Last 10, 6, 3, and 1. Away, we are 28, 10, and 3. And at home, we are 25, 11, and 5. So McDavid with 73 points, Marner with 61, Puljujarvi with 59, Draisaitl with 56, Forsberg with 56, Meier with 48, Bjorkstrand with 45. That is definitely a career high for him. Nuge with 43, Merkley with 41, Anderson with 38, Barry with 28, Tierney with 25, Borgstrom with 23, Wilson with 21, Comiskey with 21, Byron with 19, Suter with 8, Bochenski with 7, Santini with 5, Suglobov with 3. Faceoffs, McDavid 58.6, Draisaitl 52.2, Anderson 51.0, and Borgstrom at a 48.7. Leading in hits is Forsberg with 173, my goodness. Blocks, Bowen Byram leads the way with 133, and for forwards, Elias Anderson leads the way with 27. Takeaways to giveaways, McDavid and Puljujarvi, perfect as usual. And Anderson pretty good. Bjorkstrand pretty good. Nuge was good. Tierney was very good. Forsberg could have been better, but he was very, very physical and scored a lot of points this year, so I can't complain too much. Meier, 35 to 48. Something's going on with the takeaway to giveaway ratio lately. Did the game update or something? Because players like Timo Meier aren't what they used to be. Or is it just the way they play on our team? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it just seems like players who should be doing better defensively aren't. And, I mean, that's fine. I guess maybe the simulation has to tax them somewhere since we're a really good team at this point. Marner, 34 to 40. 33 to 63 for Barry. That's a good ratio for him. Wilson, 32 to 26. Comiskey, 30 to 62. Byram, 27 to 96. Draisaitl, 25 to 45. Yeah, so like even Draisaitl should be much better than this. That's a little worrying. Merkley, 23 to 49. 23 to 82 for Bochenski. 22 to 53 for Suter. 15 to 25 for Borgstrom. 5 to 18 for Santini. And 3 to 2 for Suglobov. Fights 8 for Bochenski. 3 for McDavid. 1 for Barry, Nuge, Santini, and Comiskey. And goaltenders, Weston Barron with a 923 save percentage and 7 shutouts, 50 wins in 70 games played. Frazee with an 876. So Frazee clearly struggled in the NHL so far. Only 3 wins in 15 games played. Definitely got to go to Weston Barron for the playoffs. I would say for the entirety of the playoffs. Even if he struggles, it's in our best interest if we keep him in there. So now we're going to see who we have in the playoffs in the first round, and it looks like it will be the LA Kings. So we'll check out the lines of the LA Kings right away, as we're obviously doing the playoffs in this video, like we did in the last one. So first line, Alex Tuck, Gabe Velarde, and the injured Sasha Machula, so he might not be on their first line, depending on what his status is. I don't know if he's actually injured right now, or if that's just fog of war, but I'm going to guess that he is injured. Second line, Harold Vance, Jody Hensick. They have a Hensick? I am kind of jealous. He's a medium elite too. When did he go? He went 3rd overall in 2024. Wow. So another Hensick here on the channel, but he is not ours, unfortunately. Nikita Sherbak, also on that line, the Hensick line we'll call it. And then third line, Adrian Kempe, Jarrett Anderson Dolan, and Rasmus Kupari. Fourth line, Luke Kunin, Troy Terry, and Sheldon Rempal. Defensively, Timofey Nabokov with Drew Doughty. Great, that's a fantastic defensive pair. With Victor Soderstrom and Ivan Provorov as the second pair. That's actually pretty dirty as well. My goodness. And then Kel Clegg with Sean Dirtsey as the top 6. And then in goal, they have Kari Puroinen. Kari Puroinen. Had to say that one a couple of times. And Hunter Jones. So they have a 77 and an 80 overall in net. That is interesting. Scratched are Tyler Toffoli, Eric Halla, and Kalle Clefbaum. So interesting choices of scratches. And an interesting tandem in goal for sure. So I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy game because we've seen what happens when we say that it's going to be an easy game, or well, easy round. But the only way we'll know is if we play it. So let's get right to it and get to game number 1 against the LA Kings here in Edmonton in Rogers Place. We are obviously the better regular season team, 53-21-8. They are 45-31-6. But as we all know, it's a different season in the playoffs. So here we go. First period of game number 1, and that'll be a 1-0 lead for LA with a goal by Rampal on Barron. Second period, that'll be, oh my, a 4-2 lead for the LA Kings. Goals by Clegg, Tuck, and Hensick for them, by Anderson and McDavid for us on Jones. Only down by 2. Let's get it going, boys. Come on now. 19 shots to 27 in favor of the LA Kings, and McDavid with another goal on Jones. He has made it 4-3. Get me one more McDavid. Hat-trick McDavid, oh my goodness, he got it on cue. McDavid on cue, and then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the veteran, coming through in the clutch. Mitch Marner on Jones. We've found Jones's weakness, and we win that game 6-4. What an offensive explosion of a game. McDavid with the hat trick, Marner with 4 points, and Tuck the third star of the game. Oh my, what a game that was. Go down 4, what was it, 4-1, 4-2, and then we come back with a storm of 4 goals in the third period. And Mitch Marner with 4 points in 1 game played. No big deal. Let's go into game number 2. There we go. Borgstrom versus Hensick on the faceoff. First period, that'll be a 2-goal lead for your Edmonton Oilers going into the second period. Goals by Marner and Captain Clutch McDavid. Second period, that'll be another goal for McDavid. McDavid is not fooling around right now. He wants that Stanley Cup. Third period, here we go. Up by 3, you have a solid lead. Don't blow it. Power play for the LA Kings goes nowhere. Very nice. Thank you, Kill. And halfway through the period now, nothing doing for either team. That's what you like to see in this situation. 5 minutes remaining, not much going on. And that's, once again, what we like to see, as we will take the 3-0 shutout victory over the LA Kings for a 2-0 series lead. 3 stars of the game, Marner, McDavid, and Weston Barron with the shutout. So Marner so far in these playoffs with 6 points. Definitely not his fault if we end up losing here, but I don't think we will. But let's just play the rest of the series just to make sure. Because we've, as we all know, lost from being up 3-0 before. So I guess I shouldn't have opened my mouth, because we all know what happens when I open my mouth. Let's see if it backfires on me here. First period, and it will. The LA Kings scored 2 goals in the first period. 1 by Sherbach and 1 by Anderson Dolan on Barron. Second period, and that'll be a goal for Tuck on Barron, but then Nuge makes it 3-1. Going into the third period, we've been down by 2 before. We came back from it in a stellar fashion. Let's do it again. Come on now. Their goaltenders aren't too strong, but Tyler Toffoli with a goal. McDavid with another goal. McDavid is not fooling around here. If McDavid gets another hat trick here, I swear. All right, Anderson Dolan with the goal. Yeah, this game belongs to the LA Kings. That's fine. You had to expect them to feel the pressure of not wanting to go down 3-0, especially on home ice. So we'll take it. You're not going to win them all. But go into this game number 4 with the mentality that we need a 3-1 lead here. Otherwise, they're just right back in this series, and that's not going to be good news. So here we go. First period of game number 4 now underway. First period, nothing doing. I will take it. 11 shots to 6 in favor of your Edmonton Oilers. Second period, that'll be a goal for Leon Draisaitl on Puroinen now. It's great. I have to pronounce this name now too. So here we go into the third period, up 1-0, and let's get a goal in the power play here. Nope, couldn't convert. That's fine. We're up by 1, but I would love to be up by 2 right about now. Nope, Klefbom of the LA Kings on a goal. And are we going to OT? Yes, we are. All right, so it is game number 4 here. We're not going into it unless it's an elimination game. That is the rule for these kinds of videos that are this long. So let's go into it and see what happens. Come on, boys. Power play. Power play, nothing doing. Power play, nothing doing, please. Yes, okay, thank God. And Stu Comiskey with the goal on Purainen. And we take a 3-1 series lead. 3 stars of the game are Clefbaum, Comiskey, and Weston Barron with 31 saves. All right, one more game. Not going to get too excited. We've been past this point before. It's just, it's nice to see the success to go along with the success that we had in the regular season. So, game number 5, let's end it right here so that we don't have to worry about any injuries, potentially. First period, nothing doing. I will take it 10 shots to 7, and I probably just jinxed an injury with that. And no shots, or no goals, I should say, in the second period either. So we are going into this third period tied. And shots are 21 to 17 in favor of LA. Let's get some going here. Captain McDavid on cue with the goal. And what could be the game winner, I'm not going to say for sure because then I'll jinx it. Come on, boys. Keep it. Keep this lead, please. 2 more minutes. 1. Forsberg with the goal on Jones, and we are moving off to round number 2. What an acquisition is Filip Forsberg. 3 stars of the game, Forsberg, McDavid, and Weston Barron with yet another shutout victory. And we're off to round number 2. So McDavid with 7 goals in that series. My goodness, what a monster. Let's check out the stats briefly. And then we'll see who we have in the second round. McDavid with 8 points. Marner and Forsberg with 7 points. That first line was huge. Nuge with 4. Barry with 3. Puljujarvi with 3. Draisaitl, Anderson, Meyer, Byram all with 2. Comiskey with 1 absolutely clutch overtime goal. And Santini, Suglobov didn't play. Borgstrom, Suter, Tierney, Wilson, Bjorkstrand, Merkley, Bochansky all with no points, but that is fine because the first line absolutely dominated and took over. How were we on face-offs? We had 56.3 from McDavid. From Anderson, we had a 52.1. From Draisaitl, we had a 50%. And from Borgstrom, 47.4. Anderson, Puljujarvi, Forsberg, Bjorkstrand, Meyer, McDavid, Byram, Barry, Comiskey, Draisaitl, Tierney, all over a hit per game. And blocks, Byram with the most with 9. And takeaways to giveaways, McDavid, Nuge, Puljujarvi, all the usual suspects. And in goal, Weston Barron with a 937 save percentage and 2 shutouts in 5 games. Pretty impressive. Not as impressive as last year, obviously. Last year was absolute insanity. But I will definitely take a 937 save percentage any day of the week. So let's see who we have in round number 2. And it will be the San Jose Sharks. So let's check out their lines. And have we faced them at all in this series? I'm not sure if we have. San Jose. I do not recognize this lineup. Oh, hello. Former Edmonton Oiler Nikita Wisniewski joined the Sharks through free agency, so he got paid a little bit. First line, Kelvin Strachan with Cohen Foote and Patrick Laine now on the San Jose Sharks. He signed a big boy contract there, $15.1 million for 6 more years. Second line, Kyle Cernkovich with Thomas Hertl and Nikita Wisniewski. Third line, Timoshev with Dahlin and Farmer. And the fourth line, Logan Couture still there with Sasha... Oh god, I always struggle with this one. Sasha Khmelevsky and Javan Sumal, another former Oiler. Oilers draft pick at least, because he never actually played for us, but he was a former prospect of ours. So facing 2 former Oilers prospects here in San Jose, and another former Oilers prospect as well in Evan Bouchard. He didn't play for us for long in this GM mode, but he was a former Oiler. So a lot of, oh my goodness, Evan Siffers, another one. Wow, that is 4, count them 4 former Edmonton Oilers here on the San Jose Sharks roster still. And there still might be another one that we haven't even seen yet. Preston Stevenson with Evan Bouchard, Evan Siffers with Tristan Spiller, and then Urho Vakanainen with Lane Smithson. And in goal, we have Strachan and Martin Jones. And then scratched are Juice and Zykov. So that is a total of 4 former Edmonton Oilers in Wisniewski, Sumal, Bouchard, and Siffers. that are on these San Jose Sharks. So this will be a very interesting series. Oh man, the media is going to eat this up. So, not wasting any time, let's get right to it. Game number 1 against the San Jose Sharks in Rogers Place. First period, and that'll be a goal for San Jose. Srnkovic on Barron, no problem there. Second period, and a goal by Elias Anderson on Jones, but then Foot on Barron. We're down 2-1 in the third period. That is fine. We are only down by 1. Let's get something going here in the third. Captain Clutch McDavid could strike at any moment. He was very hot in that last series. Let's hope he stays hot here. Power play for San Jose. Patrick Laine right on front of the net on Barron. It makes it 3-1. We definitely don't want him getting hot. And it looks like San Jose is taking this game 3-1 in game number 1. That's not a problem, as we've been down 1-0 in the series before, and it's only one game. So going into game number 2, let's just make sure we don't lose this one on home ice. We really don't want to go down 2-0 to the San Jose Sharks, especially against 4 of our former players. First period, all right. Goal by, of course, Nikita Wisniewski on Barron, and then Nugent Hopkins on Jones. Is that the first time I've said his full name? But anyway, Wisniewski, our former player, of course, he knows how to score on Barron. He's probably scored on them in practice several times. So he gets his team on the board. Second period, oh my. Foot, and then Wilson, and then Wisniewski again. My goodness, he is coming back to bite us. He did not like that we released him. And the San Jose Sharks lead 3-2 going into the third on 2 goals by Nikita Wisniewski, former Edmonton Oiler. As we need a goal here right now on this power play. Nope, we can't get it. Come on, boys. And they've only had 18 shots, too. Come on, defense. Come on, Weston Barron. You can do better. You can do better. And Timashev on Barron. Aye. Not looking good. And Spiller with the empty netter. 5-2 loss here in game number 2. Not good. The 3 stars of the game, of course, Hertl, Jones, and Nikita Wisniewski. So I think we're going to do a couple of line changes here, because other than the first line in the first round, our offense has been kind of silent. Yeah, that second line has been nowhere to be found at all. 1 goal from that second line. Meyer with 2 assists, Draisaitl with 1 goal, 2 assists, Puljujarvi with 3 assists. Yeah, that's got to change. So I think I want Anderson up there on the second line somewhere. I'm going to put him with, but at the same time, I can't. How do you move down Draisaitl or Puljujarvi? I don't want to mess up that first line, not right now. It's only been 2 games that they've been kind of quiet. I want to see if they can get it back going again, because they were dynamite in that first round. As for just everyone else, though, has not really been there. So I think I want to see what happens if we put Draisaitl on the second line. We're putting Nuge at the face-off dot with Puljujarvi and Anderson, and then it'll be Meyer, Draisaitl, and Wilson, and then Bjorkstrand with Borgstrom and Tierney. We got to get something going. Defensively, Byram and Barry. Yeah, they've been fine. Stu Comiskey with Merkley. They're both -6. What about Bochenski and Suter? They've been better than Merkley and Comiskey. Yeah, but Byram and Barry have been good. Merkley and Comiskey, not so much. Bochenski and Suter have been So what I'll do here, instead of Comiskey, we'll have Bochenski up here with Merkley. And Weston Barron, you gotta shut it down, bud. That's all I'm asking. Because I'm not going to Frazee after his regular season performance. So we gotta find a way to make it work. And I might consider, honestly, getting Suglobov in there. And Santini potentially as well if we lose this game as well. But let's go in with the mentality that we are going to win. Because if we go down 3-0, that would really not be good. First period, there you go. There's a goal by Timo Meyer. All right, there you go. So that's, what is that, third line? I don't remember. We jumbled the lines up completely. So I think that's the third line. Second period, and there you go. Goal by Hertl, but then goes by Borgstrom and Puljujarvi. There we go. There's our depth. There's our depth finally coming through. And going into the third period with a 2-goal lead. Let's not let it up. Don't take the pedal off the metal. Give me 1 more goal at least. And I'll feel, yep, there it is. Draisaitl with the goal on the third line, I believe, as well, to get us that 3-goal cushion. Not much to be worried about here. San Jose with a power play, but again, nothing doing for them. Yep, we're set. We're good. We win this game. We are still down in the series, of course, but we are in a much better situation than we would have been if we had lost it. Draisaitl, Barron, and Meyer with the stars of the game. Going into game number 4 now, we definitely have a chance now that our depth is finally stepping up. I would like, of course, Connor McDavid, the first line, Filip Forsberg, Mitch Marner to step up as well. But as long as there's some scoring going on and we keep playing defense, that is all I care about. First period, nothing doing. I'll take it. 15 shots to 10. My goodness. Second period, and I hate to see it, 32 shots to 19 now as well. Logan Couture with goal on Barron, and Wisniewski again. My goodness. He is killing us right now. And so far, he is making us pay. Come on, boys. Third period. Don't let Nikita Wisniewski, of all people, get us out in the second round again. Oh my goodness. Connor McDavid, finally, with a goal. All right, so he's alive now. We know he's breathing. Come on, boys. Logan Couture with the goal from far out on Barron. Not good. Come on, boys. Give me one more. Not Darlene with one more for the San Jose Sharks on Weston Barron. And they're now up 3-1 in the series. Not good at all. Wisniewski, Couture, and Jones with 3 stars of the game. And you know what else I just noticed? We faced 2 Jones goaltenders in a row. The Jones with the LA Kings, and now the real-life Jones with the San Jose Sharks. Do I want to make a change? Yeah, I kind of do. I think as far as defense goes, we're going to probably, I'm going to take out Suter. He's just, he's done well. He's 20 years of age, though. He's still very young. So we're going to get the veteran Santini in there. And I think that's about it in terms of what I want to do for defense. Now, offense, I want to get something going here. I think I'm going to take, what's Tierney's ratio's been like? His ratios have not been good. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Tierney out, and we will get Ruslan Suglobov in there, and we'll see what he can do in the playoffs. Our power play is actually pretty good right now. 33% on 15 opportunities. I can't really touch that. Penalty kill's been at a 90%. I'm not touching that either. It's the 5-on-5 scoring that needs to come through. It really is. And of course the 5-on-5 defense, because special teams have been pretty good when we go on them. So here we go. Game number, 5? So here we go. First period, game number 5, an elimination, game 5. There we go. Forsberg and Marner, the first line showing up once again. Second period, there you go. Draisaitl with the goal. Wisniewski with the goal. And Bjorkstrand with the goal on Jones. We lead 4-1. And we should have this game as long as we keep this lead going into the third period. And hopefully we could get to a game number 6 here. Come on, boys. Come on. Halfway through the period. Get me maybe one more goal if you want to. That'd be nice. Yes, Allen. And right on cue, Mitch Marner with the goal from far out on Jones. Foot on Barron. Not too big of a deal, though. Too little too late for them. We win 5-2. 3 stars of the game. McDavid Suglobov quietly with 3 assists in that game. Glad we put him in. And Mitch Marner with 4 points as well. Suglobov. I was not expecting that. So let's kind of roll with Suglobov now. At least for right now. So yeah, going into game number 6, no changes. That was a pretty solid game. Let's keep the same defensive lines together and hope they can get it done. Weston Barron, I believe in you. You are a solid goaltender. And offense, I need you to step up once again. First period, that'll be a goal by Timo Meier on Jones. Let's go. Second period, nothing doing. I will take that as well. 26 shots to 22. And striking right away on Barron in the third period makes it 1-1. Come on, boys. Get me a goal, Edmonton. Get me a goal, Edmonton. I don't like 1-1 games in the third. Come on. Please. Someone, are we going to overtime? Yep, we are. All right, it's an elimination game 6. We're going into it. And here we go. McDavid on the face-off against Foot. And he'll win it back. Barry. Circles around. Finds McDavid. McDavid with the toe drag and the shot. Saved by Jones. Kicked out to Strachan. Strachan up to Laine. Laine loses it and gets it back to Bouchard. Bouchard to Stevenson. Stevenson up to Laine. Laine for the San Jose Sharks, number 30, along the boards for Foot. Bouchard, the former Oiler, to Stevenson. Back to Bouchard. Laine down low, battling with Byram. Byram gets it. Byram moves it up to Forsberg. Filip Forsberg for Marner with the shot, and Jones with the save. My goodness, what a save was that, and Laine gets it from Bouchard. Laine into the zone for the San Jose Sharks with a shot, and that is a big save by Weston Barron. Number 43, Stevenson on the boards, battling with Mitch Marner, I believe that is, number 18, as Byram takes it up through the neutral zone and in himself. Byram still has it, centers that one, and no one in front to bang it home as Laine gets it up for Srnkovic. Second line getting out there now for San Jose. Wisniewski as well, number 62 for the San Jose Sharks, former Oiler as well. Bouchard from Stevenson and back to Stevenson. Wisniewski with the shot that's blocked by, I believe that was Chris Tierney. Bouchard to Wisniewski on the point. Wisniewski loses it off the hit from Elias Anderson, hitting his former teammate as Nuge tried to find Puljujärvi there, but intercepted by San Jose's Hurdle. In with Srnkovic, but Barry takes it and gets to Puljujärvi. Puljujärvi with a little toe drag. The shot, and oh my goodness, what a save by Martin Jones. Nuge along the boards. Finds Puljujärvi, and he tried to go 5-0 on Jones. Almost got it, but Wisniewski the other way. Hurdle with the shot that went, I believe that actually went off the glove of Weston Barron. Wisniewski for Siffers. Wisniewski with the shot, and Barron with the glove save. Meyer, Draisaitl, and Wilson out there now against Timoshev, Dahlin, and Farmer. Face-off won by Edmonton Oilers. As we have possession. Bochanski gets it up to Meyer. Meyer for Wilson for Draisaitl. Draisaitl turning, finds Wilson with the shot, and oh, the rebound was almost there, but picked up by San Jose instead. Number 41, Timoshev for Farmer. Farmer turns, finds Timoshev with the shot, and Dahlin picks it up. Timoshev tries to get it on net, but cannot as it's pushed out of the zone by the Oilers. But San Jose still retains possession as Spiller goes into the zone. Finds Timoshev. Back down low for Spiller. And tried to find one of his point men, but finds Meyer instead. And Wilson will dump in for your Edmonton Oilers. As Meyer meets it. And he tried to center it for one of his teammates, but Dahlin will intercept instead. Number 23 for San Jose the other way. For Sumal, the former Oiler, with the shot that goes wide. Marner back out there with McDavid. McDavid in himself. He finds space, cuts, and tried to take that shot, but intercepted by a Shark. Meyer for Marner, but Couture intercepts that cycle. Couture dumps in with 1:17 remaining in overtime. And I can't see what's going on right now, but number 44, Sumal for the Sharks has it. Stevenson with the shot attempt as Forsberg blocks it, and now he has it. Through the neutral zone, into the Shark zone. For McDavid, for Comiskey, for Santini with the shot. The rebound isn't there as Jones covers up with 52.4 seconds remaining. McDavid wins that face-off. Back to Comiskey for Santini. Back to Comiskey once again for Forsberg. Back for Comiskey for Forsberg again for Santini. These three cycling very well. Comiskey for Forsberg for Santini. Down low to McDavid. McDavid centers that for Marner. And he almost had one. My goodness. Stevenson for Bouchard. Marner intercepts. And that is a great save by Jones. Laine and Forsberg battling for it. Laine wins it. To Foot. 23 seconds remaining. What can he do? Strachan with the shot that went wide. Foot down low behind the net. Santini pins him. McDavid takes it. 12 seconds remaining. What can he do? Finds Puljujärvi. Puljujärvi into the zone. 8 seconds remaining. Shot. And Jones will cover up. Anderson, Nuge. Puljujärvi out there with 6 seconds remaining. What will happen here? Face off. Won by San Jose. And that looks like it'll be it. And we are going to a second overtime. My goodness. Here we go again. McDavid, Forsberg, and Marner out there against Foot, Strachan, and Line. Face-off won by the Sharks. Bouchard has it. Up to Foot. Foot will dance his way into the zone and dumps it. Byram meets it. He gets it to his teammate McDavid. Up for Forsberg. Forsberg, new acquisition of the Edmonton Oilers. Barry with the shot, and Jones with the save off that shot. And face-off won by McDavid. Back for Barry. Barry to Byram. Byram down low for Forsberg. Back for Byram again. And shot by McDavid. I believe that was rebound tipped in front by Marner as he takes away from Stevenson on the boards. Barry back down low to Marner. Marner around the boards for Forsberg. Forsberg cycles it back to the point for Barry. And he tried to find, I believe that was Forsberg once again, but taken by Bouchard instead. Foot, the other way for San Jose. Foot with the shot. My goodness, Barron with the pad save with 14:27 remaining in the second overtime. Nuge, Anderson, and Puljujärvi out there against Sergevich, Hurdle, and Wisniewski. Face-off won by San Jose. Stevenson for Bouchard with the shot, and that's a good save by Barron. Hurdle for number 43, intercepted by Anderson. Anderson, the other way for Edmonton, finds Puljujärvi. Puljujärvi on the boards. Bouchard takes it from him and winds it around for Wisniewski, who finds Hurdle. Hurdle up for Wisniewski again. Wisniewski in the zone, around the net for his teammate Hurdle, and he ends it in double overtime, and your Edmonton Oilers are once again eliminated in the second round. Oh, Nikita Wisniewski, the former Edmonton Oiler, absolutely killed us in this series. He had like 3 or 4 goals, I think. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 1 year left. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one for the last episode of the Edmonton Oilers GM mode in NHL 19. See you guys then.